Um, First of all, welcome to Rogue Credit Union's first ever, and I never thought I would say this, at least during my tenure at the credit union, first ever virtual annual meeting. For those members that normally come, I express my apologies for the fact that we had to make this a virtual annual meeting, but I'm sure each and every one of you understand why we had to do that. And so I just want to thank all the members that are here or are participating in this event for your dedicated loyalty to Rogue Credit Union, your commitment to us, and during this time of unique change, your understanding as we all continue to navigate the coronavirus outbreak together. So what I want to make sure that I do is recognize all of the folks that are serving on the front lines of this outbreak today. First and foremost, our staff members that are dedicated here every day. I was incredibly honored that we had less than a 5% absentee rate this morning, actually a lower absentee rate for this time of the year than we ever have. There were only 19 people out of our 500 employees absent this morning. And so that is a tremendous testament to each of the staff members and their dedication and their commitment to the members of the credit union. So first of all, to all of our staff members, thank you for your tremendous dedication. Second of all, to everyone else out there serving, whether you're at the grocery store as a checker, you're stocking the food and drink aisle, or you're serving through a drive-up, all of the folks, and then let's not forget our first responders that are on the front line of all of this, our government officials that are out there working very, very hard. There are so many people out there working for all of us. I'm eternally grateful, and please take a moment anytime that you go out today or tomorrow or the next few weeks and you experience someone that's serving you, thank them. Thank them for their service. Thank them for their commitment to making sure that our community continues to run in the amazing way that it's running today. Every time I go and talk to somebody and thank them for their service, you can just see a smile on their face. You can see the respect and appreciation that they have for being recognized, for the commitment they're making to all of us. So thank you for all of that. Now, what I want to do is I want to make sure, before we get the meeting pulled together, that we recognize someone that has been an incredible part of our story. Mr. Tim George, Chief George is what we want to call him. We want to make sure that we recognize him tonight. After 27 years of dedicated service to the members of Rogue Credit Union, Tim retired at the end of this year. I don't think he realized what he got himself out of because he's not on the calls and the emails and the messages that the board are getting on a daily basis right now. He just gets to sit home and enjoy himself and maybe ride those bicycles that he used to ride with his wife quite some time ago. So let's make sure that we recognize Tim from the perspective of what I'm supposed to say. How's that, okay? What I'm supposed to say. Tim first joined Jackson Public Service Federal Credit Union. Kelsey, aren't you glad you don't have to put that on a sign today? Jackson Public Service Federal Credit Union, which would eventually become Rogue Credit Union in 1978. There might be somebody in this room that graduated from high school in 1978. So goes way back with Tim. He instantly became one of the credit union's biggest promoters in the Valley and wanted to be more involved with the credit union movement. Tim was elected to the board of directors in 1992 and has served numerous roles, including chair, treasurer, secretary, and the chair of one of our subsidiaries since joining the board. Tim helped to advise 3 out of the 4 credit union CEOs at Rogue Credit Union and has been an integral part in setting the direction for Rogue throughout the years. He played a large part in hiring my predecessor, Tim Alford, as well as part of the group that took a chance on me back in 2007. Tim's service was incredibly critical during the economic downturn, guiding the credit union through difficult times and seeing it through with minimal impact. Rogue did not have to make any staff cuts during the Great Recession. And we're working to make that assurance today for all of our staff. I just sent a message to staff today. Worked to make sure there were no staff cuts during the Great Recession, one area that Tim supported strongly. In another instance during this time, management came to the board with a very conservative merit increase for staff. Pay increase is another way to say it. But the board chose to increase the raise for all employees, something Tim was very proud of doing. Throughout his tenure on the board, Rogue has grown from less than $100 million in assets, $100 million, to $1.7 billion. Just a little increase. The Rogue Valley is a better place because Tim and Tammy George selfishly were sad to no longer have Tim on our board, but are forever grateful for the steadfast loyalty and hours of service that Tim has given to Rogue. And Tim, we wish you nothing but the best in this next phase of your life. I wish you were here, but I understand why you're not. So please accept the award you're now holding, because fortunately we gave, yes, let's give him a round of applause. We gave Tim an award earlier and we were going to present it to him again tonight, but since we're punting on a lot of things, Tim, you have a virtual award sitting here at the counter tonight. So thank you. And I don't know if you can hear me or not, but if you have anything you'd like to say, that'd be great, Tim.
I'd like to have a piece of the virtual cake.
You know, you weren't going to be here, so we didn't need a cake, Tim.
There you go.
Okay.
I appreciate all the kind words Gene and you folks have been more than gracious in your recognition of me the last couple of months. But I got more from the credit union than I ever gave. So I appreciate all the help and over the years, and I am happy that the people sitting on that table tonight are the folks in the position to lead the credit union, because it's in the toughest of times that you show your true leadership. So good luck to you all, and timing is everything.
Okay. Great. So now to get our virtual condensed annual meeting to order, let me call up Chair Jerry Houck.
Thank you, Gene. And as board chair, I'd like to call the 63rd annual meeting to order for Rogue Credit Union and declare Shay Logue as recording secretary for tonight's meeting. And in regards back to Tim, my very first board meeting I ever attended as a board member, he was the chair, and he appointed me the acting secretary that night, and I've never forgiven him. I always used to pick on him for a lot of things. I determined we do have a quorum, and if you'd like to review a copy of the 2018 annual meeting minutes, please visit our website. If there are no objections, I'd like to dispense with the reading of the minutes of last year's annual meeting and approve them as submitted. Hearing no objections, we will continue with the meeting. This last year has been a great year for us at Rogue Credit Union, and like we always say, it's because of you and your support of your credit union itself, our outstanding leadership, our outstanding staff. At this time, I'd like to return it back to President and CEO Gene. He's getting here.
Thank you. We're learning on the fly here and making sure. So thank you. We've got, I think, 29 people logged in on Facebook Live participating in our first ever virtual annual meeting. We are 30, actually. So we're almost working towards a record for the number of people attending us. We don't want it to be too successful, then we'll hold virtual annual meetings all the time. Yeah, no drawings either. That's right. So everybody at home, give yourself a gift, okay? You all get to give yourself a gift. Okay. So for this year's President's Report, it is included in your annual report, and in order to just work through this process, the credit union has been is in one of the strongest positions it's ever been. Even with the potential of this outbreak continuing for a period of time, we're probably as confident as we've ever been in the strength of the credit union to weather whatever storm is in front of us. And we're excited about the opportunity that we have that strength and able to help not only our members, but our staff members too, as they work through this. So next on the thing is the nominating committee report. So Heather, would you like to come up, please?
Hi, I'm Heather Johnson, and as Jean mentioned, I serve on the chair of the nominating committee for the board of directors at Rogue Credit Union. I've served on Rogue's board of directors for the past 2 years, and I'm a proud board member. As there are 2 nominees for the 2 open positions on the Rogue Credit Union board of directors, the nominating committee has determined that the 2 incumbents, Cheryl McMahon and Neil Itzen, are more than qualified to fill these 2 open positions. Please reference their biographies in the annual report to see a brief summary of their stellar qualifications. In accordance with the bylaws, there were no nominations through petition by November 18th, 2019. The nominating committee presents an uncontested slate of candidates for the 2 open board positions and recommends election by acclamation. Thank you. Jerry?
As per the nominating committee's recommendation, I declare the election of the slate of candidates of Cheryl McMahon and Neil Itzen by acclamation. Now, at this time, please join me in welcoming Alex Palm to give the treasurer's report.
Thank you, Jerry. For this year's treasurer's report, please refer to the annual report financials. I would now like to welcome Carrie Zippy to share the advisory committee report.
All right. Hello, I'm Carrie Zippy. I'm the Supervisory Committee Chair. Also, the information regarding the Supervisory Committee may also be found in the annual report financials. With that, I'd like to pass it back to Jerry.
This sounds like a December board meeting, the way we're running this. Thank you, Carrie. And for this year's board chair report, again, as we say, refer to your annual report, and our information is in there for you to see. One thing I would like to say that I know we're extremely proud as a board to have approved and the $6 million payout to our members and the rewards. It's a tremendous thing to have, and especially the situation we all of a sudden were thrown into, it couldn't have been more of an appropriate time. Okay, this time, I'd like to return it back over to Jean. Excuse me, you're right, my bad. My last duty, I love it. Okay, at this time, since there's no old business to discuss and no new business, we will now close Rogue Credit Union's 63rd annual business meeting. This time, I'll turn it back to Jean.
Thank you so much, Coach. For those of you that are wondering, there have been special rules put in place by our state regulator that allowed us to hold this virtual meeting this year, simply from directives from our governor and from our president. We have made accommodations to make sure that we not only protect the health and safety of our staff members, but each and every one of you. So thank you for your understanding and your participation in our first ever virtual annual meeting. Before I close tonight, I want to make sure that we take a moment to recognize somebody very important. We want to recognize the service of Coach Jerry Houck, our board chair. Jerry signed on to be the board chair at probably one of the most uncertain times in the history of the credit union. And that time was the financial crisis. He will be passing on the role of board chair, but I want to recognize his profound impact on his leadership as the board chair has had on this organization. First started serving the credit union as an advisor for the Ashland High School student branch. He was elected to the Rogues board in 2003, which was a really good year because that's when I joined the credit union too, was in 2003. And began serving as the board chair in 2008. At a time when the credit union was facing an extremely challenging recession. At some points now, we wonder if that almost wasn't the easy time looking forward, but we'll see how that goes from here. Jerry was the right board chair at the right time for the credit union to steal, and that I'm not saying that to discount the value he brought, but with the uncertainty that we're facing today, I'm not sure that Jerry's looking at this as a completely bad thing, that he doesn't have to be the chair again through another opportune time. Jerry was the right board chair at the right time to steal a few basketball terms. He understood a full court press was needed during the financial crisis and a fast break offense during the economic recovery. Throughout all this, Jerry always fought to make sure we remain focused on the member value and employee trust. During his time as board chair, Jerry was inducted into the Northwest Credit Union Association's Volunteer Honor Roll. In 2014, he was also recognized with the Distinguished Impact Award by the Northwest Credit Union Association. He was appointed to the National Association of Credit Union Chairman of Board of Directors and now serves on the Board of Directors and serves as Vice Chair at this time. Jerry will continue to serve on the credit union's board, and we need him now more than ever, playing an essential role in setting the strategic objectives and direction of your credit union. Coach, I'm a better leader because of your coaching, and the credit union's better because of your leadership. Please join me in recognizing the dedicated service of Coach Jerry Houck. You get to stand back here so we can get a picture taken and all this other fun stuff.
Okay.
Oh, let's see, we're too close, aren't we?
Wait,
There we go.
We don't count.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Anything you want to say?
All I'm going to say is, good luck, Philip. No, it's been an honor, because I am a true believer of the credit union philosophy, as Gene has, and it's been so easy to work with Gene as we've gone through these things. And every decision we've made as a board, and I'm extremely proud of that, has been based on what's good for the member. And as long as I'm around, I will drive to keep that thing going, because I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Okay. As I wrap up this unconventional, virtual annual meeting, I also want to take a moment to celebrate each and every one of you. Your engagement and participation in this credit union is something to celebrate. 2019 was another great year for all of us here at the credit union that gave us plenty to reflect upon. Because you, our loyal members, have placed trust in Rogue to become your local source for financial services. We've been able to build credit union whose voice is big enough to matter, yet small enough to care. My sincere thanks to you, our loyal, for growing with us. I want to assure you that we're approaching the coronavirus outbreak situation with the same measured and methodical approach that has served Rogue extremely well through uncertain times. We remain unconditionally committed to doing the right thing for our members and our team members. The credit union is financially secure, and members even more secure than before we headed into the financial crisis. And members can feel safe in our institution. There'll be economic ramifications from the coronavirus outbreak, and we'll be here as the trusted local financial institution to help our members who are impacted. The leadership team and board of directors remain steadfast to the commitment that our founders made 64 years ago to always put the needs of the community and its people before profit. Again, thank you for attending tonight's annual meeting and for your continued loyalty to your credit union. And I just want to say that we're working hard day to day, moment to moment as we work through this. We've got an experienced and talented leadership team and incredibly committed staff that are working each and every day for our members. I do want to remind folks that if you do have questions about how we're addressing particular issues, we have leadership listens at roguecu.org, so please utilize that. We've been humbled by the trust that members have placed in us so far. You've trusted us to move through this, and actually the only messages I've really got are messages of support, not concern. And so thank you for that, and I want you to know that not only am I, your leadership team, your staff, and your board of directors are working hard to make sure your credit union not only manages today, but thrives in the future too. So thank you all very much, and thank you for participating in our first ever virtual annual meeting. And now, looking at all the folks to make sure we've done everything that we need to do, we can say it's a wrap. It's a wrap for the first ever virtual annual meeting. Thank you. Annual meeting. Oh, that's me.
Now,